Welcome everyone to the Notre Dame opening press conference for the 2022 NCAA March Madness first round. We are joined by Fighting Irish student athletes Maya Dodson and Olivia Miles. We will go right into questions. Please raise your hand if you have one.
Nathan Strauss, UMass Radio. Maya, you're one of the older and most experienced players on this team with experience in big games. How do you use that position as a leader before a game like this?
Just lead and just show my teammates, how it's done. I've been to March Madness 2 times before, so it's just about knowing that I have experience and then just kind of helping my younger teammates along the way.
Next question on the left.
Tyler DeLuca, Game Day U Hoops. Kind of for both of you, what has this week been like? You figure out who your opponent is. Has it been mostly, trying to fix and work on internal team stuff, or is it scouting ahead towards UMass?
I think it's a mix of both. I think definitely we learned from the ACC tournament what we can get better at. So that was definitely part of our focus. And then once we figured out we're playing UMass, just like a regular game, just trying to figure out what we need to do to win.
Any additional in-person questions? We'll go to the right.
Nathan Strauss, looking ahead to UMass, what are the specific issues or areas of focus that you guys were identifying before this game?
So like Maya said, we were preparing. We've been preparing for a couple of days now, but just mainly getting stops on the defensive end is super important for us because, we're a team that works best when we're out and we're running. So getting those stops, those rebounds, and just, containing them is our best, bet.
Let's continue on the right.
Jacob Munch, UMass Radio. It'll be about 2 weeks when you take the floor tomorrow since your last game. What have you been working on mentally and physically to make sure you're ready to be in game mode as soon as that ball's thrown up?
I think it just starts with practice, just getting used to playing a scrimmaging. We had our practice guys when we were back at Notre Dame, so just working on that, making sure that we get shots up. Even though it's been 2 weeks, I think it's the same kind of routine as if we played two games in 2 days, so same thing.
Do you want me to answer? Okay. No, I would agree. I feel like we are even more eager to play since it's been that long. So our focus has always been there, and practice yesterday has been really good, and the days before. So we're just really locked in.
Any additional in-person questions? We'll look to Zoom. Anyone that is tuned in via Zoom, we'll go to Anthony Anderson, the South Bend Tribune.
Yeah, all right. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Congrats, Maya and Olivia. My question is for Maya. What years, Maya, were you living in the Huntington area before you ended up in Georgia, and how well are you and Sydney Taylor acquainted?
I moved from Huntington in 8th grade. Actually, earlier, I moved from New York in 8th grade, but I lived in Huntington and moved to a different place. So it's been a minute since I've been in New York. I don't really know her, but I'm looking forward to playing against her tomorrow.
We will go to Tyler Honka.
Hey, Tyler Horka with Blue and Gold Illustrated. My question's for Olivia. Olivia, what has it meant to have someone like Abby Prohaska on the team? Obviously, she's battled so much, not just this season, her entire career, but she has that NCAA tournament experience, went to a national championship game. What has been her message to you guys, and what has she meant to the team?
Yeah, it's actually funny because in the ACC tournament, we were playing Miami, and I literally went up to the coaches and I asked, like, "Is Abby ready? Can she go in? Is she gonna play?" Because that's how much she means to the team. And unfortunately, she couldn't step in the game, but her health is of utmost priority. So, but she's just meant so much to our team, and as a leader, and her experience is valuable beyond words. I can't describe it, and she gives us messages and confidence all the time when we're on the floor, and just reassures the young ones, especially like me who have never been in this position. And just gives us really good advice.
And then a quick follow-up to that, if I can, and it can be for either of you guys, whoever wants to speak on her, but Sam Brunell is someone who's battled a lot as well, playing with the shoulder injury. She injured her ankle a little bit earlier. I guess, Maya, you've been through some injuries yourself. What has it been like to kind of watch her battle through those? And especially with y'all's low scholarship numbers available, what she's met and being able to come off the bench and give you guys a little bit of a spark.
It means a lot, and I understand how hard it is to go through injuries. So just seeing her being able to do that during this season, it's meant a lot. And she's one of my post players, so it makes a difference having her out there on the floor, being able to stretch the floor. So I'm happy she's playing, and she gives us a spark off the bench.
We will go back to Zoom. Anthony Anderson.
I did not have another question. I neglected to lower my hand. Sorry.
Thank you. Any more questions in the room? Thank you, Olivia and Maya.
Thank
A recording of this press conference will be made available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. Be joined momentarily by Fighting Irish head coach Neil Ivey. A few quick reminders. If you would like to ask a question, please raise your hand and I will call on you. Do not speak until you have received a microphone. Please state your full name and organization prior to your question. For our Zoom participants, please use the raise hand function. Once complete with in-person questions and as time allows you, you will be directed to unmute yourself in order to ask your question. We are joined by head coach Neil Ivey. We are ready for an opening statement.
Well, extremely excited for my program to be in our first NCAA tournament. Just been an incredible year too for me. Super proud of our group, super proud of this program. Excited to be in such a competitive region and looking forward to tomorrow. Amazing basketball, and again, I'm just so grateful to be in this moment and to have this opportunity.
We're ready for our first question. We'll go to the left.
Tyler DeLuca, Game Day U Hoops. Coach, obviously it's a little bit different where you have a lot more time to prepare for an opponent. So for your team and for your coaching staff, how much has it been looking back on your own team and trying to work on your own things versus scouting ahead and looking at UMass?
Yeah, well, the first week after ACC tournament, we had a lot of time to rest. Have a shorter roster, so had some nagging injuries. So we rested that week, and then we got a chance to really get back to working on our fundamentals, working on our defense, offense, everything. It was great. It was a great week of just really fixing us. And then, after the selection show on Sunday, we had an opportunity to really work on UMass, work on things that we need to prepare for them and also continue to work on ourselves. But having that much time was really beneficial with such a grind of a season this year.
Next question on the right, on the inside.
Nathan Strauss, UMass Radio. Two teams that were picked to finish sixth that both overachieved. I guess when you're looking at the paths of these two teams, I know that the program histories are pretty different, but what are you anticipating out of UMass this Saturday?
First of all, a super well-coached team. Watching them, very disciplined, hard-nosed. They led to A10 in scoring, multiple offensive weapons on that team. So I'm expecting a battle. I have a lot of respect for UMass and their program, and again, where they're trending. A10 champions, like they just have had an incredible year. We had an opportunity to play Fordham, so we know how tough the A10 is. So looking forward to the matchup, and again, so grateful to have this opportunity to play them.
Additional in-person question?
Jacob Munch, UMass Radio as well. Building off of Tyler's question, what strategies have you taken the past couple of weeks to make sure that there's no rust, physical or mentally, come Saturday's game?
Well, we have an incredible practice squad, and so this past week we had an opportunity to really work on transition, working on getting up and down. The first week after the ACC tournament, they were on spring break, so we really had to just work on our game and everything just amongst each other. So then we got our practice guys back, so we had a chance to really get up and down, and then we're doing the same things and navigating the same way that we've navigated all season. But you can never really prepare for the atmosphere of the NCAA tournament, but we tried to prepare them the best we could.
We'll go front left with the next question.
Welcome to Oklahoma, Coach.
Thank you.
I'm Garen Emick with the Tulsa World. I was wondering if I could get your insight in a year later after the Sedona Prince video that went viral. Obviously exposed some inequities that were going on at the time. I know there's been an attempt to address them.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to know your thoughts on that attempt and whether that thrusts more importance on this year's tournament, given what Sedona exposed a year ago.
Yeah, well, very grateful for Sedona to expose the inequities. I think it's something that has been a problem for a long time, so not just last year. So she shed light on what needs to be fixed. I think that with the Kaplan report, with the media attention to it, I think that this year they're being very intentional about changing, about enhancing the tournament for the women, and I think that's a step in the right direction. It's something that we talked about on the call, the NCAA call, when the president and Liz Holzman, spoke to us about their improvements. But again, them being intentional about change, I think, is a step in the right direction. again, we didn't get a chance to experience that last year. So we're walking into this with gratitude for everything we see, every sign, every moment, that the travel, everything. So I'm hoping that we can continue to get better. I know that it's definitely, like I said, a step in the right direction, but I feel like there's always an opportunity to continue to improve. I know that they've been they've communicated that it's not just they want to continue to improve, and I think that's where they need to trend.
Is it emblematic of a bigger picture than just what was going on in the tournament last year, do you think?
I definitely think so. I definitely think when you see the men's side and the women's side, it's different, and probably with all aspects. I mean, I've had a chance to see it as a mother, to be honest, so I have a different perspective. But I think it's just the respect factor. We're still, I feel like, as women, trying to gain the respect that we deserve, and again, shedding light on it is I think is positive.
Any additional in-person questions? We'll go to the right.
Folks on your coaching staff obviously coached Sam Breen for a long time at Penn State. I was curious what your thoughts on her as a player are, and how maybe that gave a little bit of extra insight into this matchup.
Yes, Coquise at Penn State, she spoke super highly of Breen. She talked about it right from the beginning. From what I've seen, she is extremely versatile. She's tough, leading them in scoring. She can score at will, score at all three levels. You can tell that she's a leader. She plays with fire and passion, and she really gets their team going. And then, again, Coquise has had nothing but positive things to say about her. We understand that she is the glue. She gets them going, but she also has an incredible supporting cast. So we have our job. We have a job ahead of us, trying to contain her and to limit them from scoring.
Okay. We'll go to our Zoom attendees. Tyler Horka.
Hey, Neil, Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. You talked obviously all year about wanting to get back to this point, and now that you're finally here, I'm curious what it's kind of been like, and not just being here in the moment, but kind of restoring Notre Dame to what it was and what it has been the last 20 or 30 years. What's it been like to kind of feel that again, and then maybe see some of the national perception of you guys being in the tournament, and maybe some people thinking you might be able to make a run?
Yeah, well, first of all, like you said, that was the goal. Last year was really hard. I think it was hard for every coach going through COVID. And for me, being a first-time head coach in a pandemic, in kind of a rebuild year, it was definitely difficult. It was very challenging, but I embraced the being uncomfortable last year because I knew it was part of my journey. I knew it was part of the process. After last year, my goal, my motivation was to get this get this program back to the tournament, number one, but just to improve. And I'm just grateful that I have a team that is bought in. They're committed. I added 3 amazing players in Olivia Miles, Sonia Citron, and Maya Dotson, and they have been the difference. My returners have come back stronger. And again, when you have a team that's bought in, they were hungry the entire season. We really gelled. We really grew as a unit, and I'm so proud of them. And then just for Notre Dame, I'm just, again, grateful to be to lead this group, but also to have such transformation after just 1 year. And I credit my staff. They've done a phenomenal job and of helping build this program so quickly. But I think it's just our passion, my love for this university. I bleed blue and gold, so every moment, every second, I'm just trying to work in order to help this group, to lead this group, and help this group get better. And it's just, again, not walking into, getting off that plane, feeling the feels of, being in the tournament. It's just so exciting for me. It feels like I'm a rookie, but again, it's just, being a part of the, top 68 is just an incredible feeling. So no matter what, even that I've been there as a player and a coach, assistant coach, being here for the first time as a head coach, it feels really special.
Our next question comes from Zoom. Hannah Beavis.
Hannah Beavis, Daily Hampshire Gazette. You mentioned that you have 3 freshmen that have been the difference for you. I wondered if you could break down what it is that they do that, really make them special for your team.
Well, I'll start with Olivia Miles, our point guard. She's led us in almost all categories. Offensively, she is, she's led the country in assists for majority of the season. She's just a phenomenal point guard. She's young, but she's also really confident. she's basically learned on the fly. I put her in the fire. She came in early last year, so I think that really helped her. But she just she wanted to do whatever she can to help this team, and I think she's been a phenomenal addition. Last year, Dara Mabry had to run the point. She was out of position. So this year, having a true point guard has really helped. Sonia Citron, again, she's a versatile, high-level player, very confident. Both of them understood the assignment, really. They understood they had to come in and make an immediate impact on our program. And I'm just really proud of their growth. She's growing up in front of our eyes as well. So I'm just, grateful, and I'm very proud of them, the way that they've blossomed this season.
If there's no additional questions, that concludes Notre Dame's availability. Thank you, Coach. Oh, sorry, Coach.
I'm so sorry. One more.
Yeah, one on the inside right.
I was curious if you've had any conversations with either Coach McGraw or anyone who you've interacted with in the past about preparing, for a moment like this.
Yes, well, definitely Coach McGraw. She's my mentor, not only my old boss, but and coach. She's really a true friend. So she's reached out. She's been really supportive the entire season, especially obviously last year coming back here. But I've had the opportunity to learn from her. I've soaked up a lot of knowledge just watching her work in the past 15 years, and she's been my guiding light. She's been somebody that I can lean on whatever I need. So I'm very grateful that she's still somebody that I can pick up the phone and call.
If there's no additional questions, that concludes Notre Dame's availability.
Thank you.